In this lesson, we will be learning about the little words, adverbs, prepositions, and conjunctions. You'll be happy to know that none of these words use inflections. Their purpose is to help connect ideas together and join one word to another word in a sentence. Adverbs help us to understand how, when, or why the action in the sentence is taking place. They can also help connect one idea to another idea in the story. They are words like nunc, now, postquam, after, deniqua, finally, mox, soon, known, not, sypa, often, numquam, never, tum, then, and ibi, there. Sometimes these words, like known, for example, are positioned near the word that they need to modify. Known often is used in front of a verb, but most of the time you are free to place the adverb wherever it makes the most sense to you in the sentence. Now, let's talk about prepositions. Prepositions are easily recognizable on any vocabulary list because they are followed by plus ABL for ablative or plus ACC for accusative. You'll remember by looking at your noun chart that every preposition must be followed by the accusative case or by the ablative case. Which one we choose is not up to us. That information is provided on the vocabulary list. You could also choose to commit to memory all those prepositions that require the ablative case. Do you remember our SID space, the ablative astronaut, where each letter in his name represents every preposition that takes the ablative case? Sine, in, de, sub, pro, ab, cum, ex, sid, space. Now let's discuss the importance of prepositional phrases when we are reading sentences. A prepositional phrase is simply a preposition and the noun that follows it. And the reason it is important to recognize these in a sentence is because the group of words known as a prepositional phrase must stay together, and it will never contain the main parts of a sentence, like a subject, a direct object, an indirect object, or a verb. When you isolate prepositional phrases, it helps you to focus on the main idea of the sentence. Let's take a look at this example. As you read the sentence, pay attention for where the prepositions occur. As I read the sentence, I noticed two prepositions. Did you? That means that there are two prepositional phrases. The first preposition is post. It must be followed by the accusative case. To find the accusative case noun, I like to read what comes after the preposition until I find the first noun with the required case. In this particular sentence, that noun is dies. The noun that comes after it, nautai, is not in the accusative case, so I know my prepositional phrase ends at dies, days. The next preposition that I see is odd, which must be followed by the accusative case. Urbem is in the accusative case. When I look at the noun after urbem, which is romam, I see that it is also in the accusative case. I am deciding to end my prepositional phrase at romam because romam is a name for a city, which is what urbem means. Now that I have both of my prepositional phrases in parentheses, I'm able to focus on the words not in parentheses, which make up the main concepts of the sentence. That main idea says tandem finally, nautai, the sailors, adveniebant, arrived. When did they arrive? First prepositional phrase, after 6 days. Where did they arrive? To the city, Rome. Knowing how to identify prepositional phrases and to put the words together that are not part of them will be very useful when translating Latin sentences. Now, we're going to learn about something new, the conjunction que. This word is an enclitic, which is what makes it so unusual. An enclitic means that it must be attached to the end of another word. That's right. This word que will never appear as a standalone or independent word in the sentence. It will always be attached to the end of a word. Take a look at these popular examples of words joined together with que. Deos, deasque, gods and goddesses. Patrem, matremque, father and mother. Pueri, puellaique, boys and girls. You should notice from these examples that it is used to join the word to which it is connected to the word that comes before it. Often, it is used to join two nouns which are thought of as a unit, like our examples. Think of it like the N in English in phrases like cookies and cream, or peanut butter and jelly, or spaghetti and meatballs, or law and order. These are noun phrases in our own language, which are usually meant to go together and seem to form a single idea. Now let's look at how it would appear within a sentence. Romani deos deasque semper laudaverunt. The Romans always praised the gods and goddesses. You need to look at the case of the noun before the que is attached. Miles pueri patrem matremque necavit. The soldier killed the boy's father and mother. Again, the case of the noun father and mother is seen on the first word and on the second word before the que. And finally, pueri puellaique saipa in agros ludent. The boys and girls often play in the fields. We also have another conjunction that means and. It's the word et. Its purpose in a sentence like this one is to join together two nouns that are not connected as one idea. In this sentence, it's joining together roads and temples to create the sentence, the Romans built many roads and temples. Roads and temples don't form a single unit, and so it is more appropriate to see the word et rather than the word que. The last topic I'd like to discuss in this lesson is how we can use conjunctions to help ourselves think like a Roman. When Latin was written by the ancient Romans, there was an absence of punctuation, so the presence of certain conjunctions in a Latin sentence would help a Roman to understand where one idea ended and another began. You have some of those conjunctions on your vocabulary list. Sed, et, and nam. Sed means but, et means and nam means for. We're now going to take a look at a Latin sentence that contains two of these three words that I have listed here in front of us. This will allow us to understand how to use the conjunctions just like a Roman would when he sees a long sentence. When the sentence is revealed, I would like you to read it and pay attention for where the verbs are and also where the conjunctions are. As I read this sentence, I noticed three verbs. The first one is apropinque. quavit, approached. The second one is monstrawit, showed. And the third one is vulneraverat, had wounded. The two conjunctions are et, and then the other conjunction is nam. So how does a Roman use this information? First of all, he knows that for every verb there is a new idea. And secondly, he understands that the conjunction joins together ideas. It's really what is being used in the same way that we would use punctuation today. So every time there is a conjunction that has a verb in front of it and another verb sometime after it, we have in fact found two ideas joined together as one. The first idea in this sentence begins at the beginning of the sentence and ends with the first verb. The second idea begins after the first conjunction and ends right in front of the next conjunction. And the final idea begins after the nam and ends at the end of the sentence. Now, what do I do with that information? Now I'm able to take those three short ideas in brackets, easily translate them, and then join them together with the conjunctions. When they are joined together, make sure to join them together in the order that the Romans have written them. This sentence says, "The lion slowly approached the servant and showed the frightened servant his foot, for a long thorn had wounded the lion's foot." Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions about what you have learned in the lesson.